Hello. Say hello.
Hi.
We finally twisted Greg's arm enough to get him to be in a video with us.
Which is why I sleep with him.
Yes. And we're all appreciative for that.
So what do you do exactly?
What do I do?
Yeah. What the hell
Basically
you
nothing all day. No. No. What do I do right now? I work at Playhouse Square.
Big deal.
Big deal. Second largest entertainment complex in the United States.
Oh. And what do you do
At
there?
the State Theater. I'm a house stagehand at the State Theater. I'm one of 3 full-time stagehands that work that theater. So.
What is a life lesson that you learn from doing theater that you apply to other areas of your life?
Yeah.
Go!
I think the first thing that jumps to my head is all about teamwork.
There you go.
It's all about groups of people coming together to solve a common problem.
Yes,
I think
indeed.
that applies to everything,
Yeah.
Good teamwork.
So I met you guys in college. Where did you guys meet?
In college. On the grid of the
Forum.
forum. That's right.
Oh.
We were. It was my first week of school. Greg was an old man. He was already a sophomore, and we were like this little. Me and these 4 other girls were like this little floating crew. We weren't assigned to a show, and
Right.
so Bob St. Lawrence took us up to the theater and said, well, there's a guy up there. He's going to teach you how to clean lighting instruments and put gels in them and how to focus them. His name's Greg. So go on and get up there. So we went up there and Greg was already up there. And the grid above the stage and forum was literally a grid. And so some of the mesh things were out. Well, I love heights. I'm not bothered by them. And I was just kind of skittering around on things. And Greg was like, hey, Princess Liko, what are you doing over there? So it was 77. Star Wars had just come out. And I was like, oh, well, who are you, Greg Gridwalker?
What happened after your first date?
Well, we didn't date for 2 years.
Well, when did you have your dream?
Oh, I dreamt about him that week. I dreamt that I married him that week. You've heard this story before. And it was such a real dream. It was very vivid. And I remember when I woke up, I was laughing, and Jane Harmon, who was one of my roommates, said, what are you laughing at? And I said, I had a dream I married that guy, Greg Pullman. And we laughed and laughed. But here's the thing.
Dude,
when did you say you dated after that? How many?
It was about 2 years after that.
2 years. Oh.
And because I was a junior and you were a senior when we started dating. But in my dream, there was this blonde in my dream, and I was like, I don't know who that was. Well, I met her sophomore year. It was Barcy.
Oh, your best
in
friend.
my dream. So, and I hadn't even met her yet.
Wow. She would dream the lottery numbers.
It only works in matters of
That's so
love.
Sweet. And I had to stop sleeping with Greg before he could
before she
start with
found
you.
out because.
And he said, I don't know, Chris, you ruined me for everybody else. But then he met you.
You told me you didn't date other women in the theater department.
I tried not to, yes.
Oh, you tried not to?
That was a standing
They
rule.
were just throwing themselves at him.
Standing rule in college. Don't date any of the theater girls.
Yeah. One of the things that's always been a through line for me is kind of the practice of theater, right? Because I spent 17 years running a chamber of commerce, but I did it with theatrical philosophies in my head, right? So it was, you bring a group of people together, you have a central idea that everybody is working toward, or a central goal, and you put the right people in the right roles so that they can be creative and contribute.
Ew.
And everybody moves together to achieve whatever it is. And that's the way I approached working with committees and reaching membership goals and all of that. So it's that whole team concept without the pain of sports.
That's true.
So how about you? What are some lessons you learned from theater?
I agree with the team thing.
Yeah,
even though I
for
was
sure.
mostly an actor when I do plays. I don't usually do anything backstage. But the other thing was going with my gut on certain things. Sometimes acting teachers and directors, I'd be like, what are they talking about? And I would just go with my gut doing something, and it would usually work. Not always, but it usually worked.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something that I think theater taught me, and also taught me, like, a lot of things was, you know what you're doing, don't worry about this one saying this. Because when you're acting and you're in rehearsal, maybe you're in the process of developing something, and someone who's not really even supposed to tell you will go, hey, listen, do this, you're not doing this. And it got me to tune certain things out, because that's not always right. I mean,
Right.
I appreciate any help, but sometimes that's not always very helpful.
Yeah.
And so I sort of learned how to tune certain crazy
Gotcha.
people out of my mind.
The other thing that I think the theater teaches people is that in the course of however long your rehearsal period is, a group of people can come together really quickly and go very deep into friendships that end up lasting a lifetime.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. And it's okay to do deep dives. I think that's maybe where I started developing the habit of doing deep dives pretty quickly.
When you say deep dives, could you explain that, please?
So getting to know people, because when actors and directors are working on a show together, you have to do some deep dive
Is there touching
digging.
involved?
There's sometimes, Harvey. No, I'm kidding. Not from what I saw. But in order to do the work, you have to dig deep to understand your character, right? And so when actors are doing that work together and with a director, there's an intimacy that develops to make you feel safe so that you can do the work.
I see.
So you go deep, and you have to trust in order to be vulnerable in the
Trust.
role and
Yeah,
all that.
I see. So that's your deep dive.
Yeah. I think that's where I developed the habit of the deep dive.
Go touching. Well, like I always told the kids, sometimes you get into situations like, we had situations like, it happened at the Playhouse, happened at Cleveland State, where it was lightning in a bottle. I used to call it.
Yes.
Because it was the perfect combination of people at the
Yeah.
right time. Because at one time at the Cleveland State was great. It was like that was like a big family.
Yeah.
The same thing at the Playhouse. There was a time while Obi was there and John
Yeah.
Volpe was still there, and
Yeah.
all those people when I first started there, especially because it was so new and like,
Yeah.
wow, this is great. It was so magical that
Yeah, it was a
it was
magical
like
time.
lightning in
Yeah,
a
you
bottle.
said-
Well, absolutely. But for the lesson of the lightning in the bottle thing is, I'm pretty sure we appreciated it while we were there in the moment.
Sure.
If it was great.
You weren't like saying, "Oh, if it only could be like that." You're not saying,
could
"If
be
only
like
I
that
appreciate it
forever.
more."
Oh,
Before
right.
you were right there.
We appreciated it while we were living it.
I got one.
What?
One of the lessons you learn is to remain calm. I know that's kind of
That's a
a
big one.
meme, but
Yeah.
remaining calm and just working the problem. Shit's going to happen, so am I allowed to say that?
You could say fuck if you wanted.
Well, stuff's going to happen. No matter how well prepared you are, if something's going to go wrong. And
Yep.
it's a live environment, so anything
Yeah.
can happen. So things happen, and just keeping a cool head. And when problems come up, you solve them as quickly as possible, and
Yep.
you don't freak out. Avoid the possibility of start to freak out.
Yes. Yes. Because
Just
that
keep
will
it-
not
keep it
help
cool
anyone.
And just work the problem and get through it as fast as you can, and just
Yeah.
close out the rest of the world and work your problem and get through it. And
There you go.
I think the lesson learned about remaining calm because shit's going to happen is huge.
yeah, you just
Yeah.
remain. And that
And that's
applies
a life
to, that applies
lesson.
to regular life. Just kind of don't freak out. And
Yep.
Very nice.
Any more from you, Christine?
I have nothing to say.
nothing. I will say this:
Yes.
that I still find my job amazing some days.
That's so cool.
Some days.
That's so cool.
I still find it magical, and I still see things every day that I've never seen that before.
Oh, that's
See, and that's one of the things I love about theater too, because with the same kind of philosophy that anything can happen and it's good to remain calm. Anything can happen and you could get so excited.
Yeah, that's neat.
You know?
That's too
Theater.
cool. That's
Isn't it?
amazing. That's
Theater
amazing.
principles apply to all of them.
Yes.
Very nice.
Yes, they do.
Well, thank you for finally coming on our little
You're
show.
welcome. Don't ever invite me back.
And for finally stopping the sleeping with me.
Damn it, I could have stayed out longer.
All right, y'all.
Have a nice
Bad
day.
news.
Do
Bad
me.
news.